Hi everyone, this is Mrs. Torigno, and this is the last page of the Chapter 3 test review, starting with question number 20. And I mentioned this in my last video too, but in case you didn't see it, I did have to come in and re-record the last two videos because my files were corrupt and they wouldn't upload. So I do have my daughter running around here with me, so if you hear her in the background or if I stop suddenly to go chase her or something, just know that that's what's going on. So, sorry about that. Okay, let's look at number 20. This is another mixture problem. So we're talking about two different solutions of bleach. One is used for the bathrooms and another one is used for the classrooms. So it looks like the bathroom mixture contains 35% bleach. So let's make sure we get this straight. The bathroom mixture has 35% and the classroom mixture has 20%. Total, we have 8 gallons of bleach to work with. So B is the bathroom solution, C is the classroom solution, and I want to write an equation that shows how I could mix these together and end up with 8 gallons of bleach total. So my first mixture, if I'm going to call that B, 35% of it is bleach. So I would say 0.35 B. And then I have another mixture that is 20% bleach. So I would say 0.20, and that's my classroom mixture. So that right there represents the two mixtures. Okay, 35% bleach here, 20% bleach here. And I know I have 8 gallons of bleach total, so I'm going to set it equal to 8. That's all there is to it as far as writing an equation. Now it says how much of the classroom solution would she have if she makes 17 gallons of bathroom solution. So that means the 17 is my B value. It goes in for bathroom. So I'm going to put 0.35 B, 0.35 times 17 plus 0.20 C, because C is what I'm trying to find. And I know that it has to equal 8. And now I have to solve it. So, 0.35 times 17 is 5.95. So 5.95 plus 0.20 C is equal to 8. Okay, I'm going to subtract the 5.95 from each side. Just a minute, honey, okay? Just a minute.
Like a big one?
Hold on. And that's going to leave me with 0.20 C is equal to...
I don't draw.
You can draw in just a second, honey. Let Mama do it first, okay?
No.
Equal to 2.05. That's what I got when I did the 8 minus the 595. Okay? And now I'm dividing by 0.20. And when I divide by 0.20, I end up with 10.25 gallons. So that would allow her to make 10.25 gallons of the classroom solution. Okay? That's all there is to that one. So really the hardest thing about a question like this one is figuring out where that 17 needs to go. Alright? So pay attention. This is 17 gallons of the bathroom solution, so that means 17 has to go in for B. Okay. The next equation talks about writing an equation for a line containing these 2 points. Now, here's what I could do. I could go ahead and find the slope, and then I could do point slope form. In fact, I will find the slope for you, but some of you may already see a trick that's going to help you with this one. So, the first thing I know I need is a slope. So I would do 5 minus negative 3 over 4 minus 4. That leaves me with, remember 5 minus negative 3 is really like 5 plus 3. So that leaves me with 8 over 0. And hopefully that jumps out at you. 8 over 0 is undefined. So that means my slope here is undefined. Unfortunately, that means that I can't use any of my methods for writing an equation. I can't use point slope form or slope-intercept or anything, because an undefined slope doesn't really work like a regular number. So I have to think about what kind of line would this be if it has an undefined slope. Well, hopefully you remember that it would be a vertical line,
No,
which means the equation is just x equals some number. And to figure out what number it is, when I look at these coordinates, I see that x is equal to 4 in both of them. So my equation is just x equals 4. Now, and what I was saying earlier is some of you may have noticed right away when you saw these two coordinates that the x coordinate was the same in both of them. As soon as you notice that, you can jump straight to writing an equation. And you can just say, all right, I know x would equal 4. If your y coordinates are the same, let's say both of your y coordinates were 5, you could say that your equation was y equals 5. Okay, whew, sorry about that. Okay, honey, we have to shut this. Okay. All right, number 22. An equation of a line that has an x-intercept and a y-intercept. Now the problem here is that we don't have a slope. But what I can do is I can make both of these into coordinates. So that would be 6, 0 because that's the x-intercept. So the 6 needs to be in the x spot. And a y-intercept of -1. So we need to put the y in the negative, or the -1 in the y spot. So here are my two coordinates. I can now use these to find slope. So -1 minus 0 on top over 0 minus 6 on the bottom. Well, -1 minus 0 is just -1. 0 minus 6 is -6. And so that would reduce to just 1/6 for my slope. Now the good news is with this one that it does tell me my y-intercept, which means instead of having to mess around with point-slope form, I can just go straight to slope-intercept form. Remember, for slope-intercept, you need a slope and a y-intercept, and I have a slope and a y-intercept. So my equation would just be y equals 1/6 x, and then my intercept is -1. And that's it. Y equals 1/6 x minus -1. Okay, home stretch here. Number 23. As a car salesman, Michael's earning $16,000 a year plus 1.5% of all his sales. Can you put those at home, please? So we're looking at his total earnings based on his sales. This is kind of like the commission problem we were talking about. So his total earnings, which I'm going to call E, starts at $16,000, and then he's earning an additional 1.5%. Now be careful, for 1.5%, we're going to have to turn that into a decimal by moving the decimal point twice. So that would be 0.015. So that's 1.5% of all of his sales. That's the equation I'm looking for. That's it. We're starting at 16,000 and we're adding 1.5% of his sales. Okay, 24. Write an equation of a line that contains this point and has a y-intercept of 5. Well, the problem here is that we need to find a way to find slope. Honey, you can't play with those, baby.
No.
Okay, can you go play with your toys over there? I can't find slope unless I have another coordinate. But luckily, this y-intercept is a coordinate. It's just kind of in disguise. Okay, the coordinate for the y-intercept then would be 0, 5. So I can now use this point and this point to find the slope. So this would be 5 minus -3 on top, and 0 minus 2 on the bottom. Again, remember 5 minus -3 is really like 5 plus 3. So this is like 8 over -2, and 8 over -2 is equal to -4. So now I have a slope, I have a y-intercept. Just like we did a second ago, I can go straight to slope-intercept form. So y would equal -4x plus the y-intercept would be 5. Okay. All right. I do apologize that these videos are getting posted a little bit later this evening. If you do have questions, still feel free to email me. I'll make sure to check my email nice and late tonight. Okay, thank you.